We're on our way to the UFO Congress in Arizona, and it's going to be an amazing ride. Hang on tight because we're going to speak to the top ufologists from around the world. Our special correspondent, Dr. Jay Elias, is on his way to Arizona.
Thanks again, Blake. We are at a pit stop on the way to the 2013 International UFO Congress. About to have a great time. All our viewers will be sharing everything. Back to you. We are officially in Arizona on our way to the 2013 International UFO Congress. Our viewers are going to see everything once I get there. This is Dr. J. Andy Elias, Third Phase of Moon.
Well, I'm from Brisbane, Australia, and I came across Third Phase of Moon by accident about 6 months ago. And I've been really impressed, actually, the quality of footage that I've seen. Often I get to see stuff there that I don't see anywhere else, and that's saying something given the ubiquitousness of video footage on the internet.
Well, anything you want to say to the viewers of Third Phase of Moon?
Well, keep watching, guys.
Mr. Pope, can you introduce yourselves to the viewers of Third Phase of Moon?
I'm Nick Pope. I used to work for the British government at the Ministry of Defence, and from 1991 to 1994 I ran the MOD's UFO project.
You are known to many people as the real-life Fox Mulder from the X-Files. Did you kind of do some similar work to uncover the truth?
Well, the media started calling me the real Fox Mulder, which I suppose was quite flattering and fun. Most of what I did was researching and investigating UFO sightings in the UK, but we did get drawn into other things such as crop circles, animal mutilations, remote viewing, even ghosts on military bases. So I suppose these, in a sense, were the real-life X-Files, yes. Good thing. I'm a passionate believer in open government and freedom of information, and the more countries do this, the more it will encourage other countries to take that step.
Excellent. Is that what you think is going to force disclosure?
I think the question of disclosure begs the question that what people think there is to be disclosed. But I think one thing we can all agree on is that not all the files on this have yet been released. So whether there's a spaceship in a hangar out there for some people to see sometimes, or whether the truth is, I don't know, subtle and different to that, I don't know. But clearly, I think we're moving in the right direction. We are seeing more and more files and documents being opened, and that's a good thing.
If you have one final message to the viewers out there, what would you have to say?
I think my message on this would be, look behind the headlines that one sometimes sees on this. I think it's very easy to trivialize this subject and to play it in a comedic way, and let's not kid ourselves, there are some fairly colourful characters involved in this field. There's plenty of good material too, and my message to people would be, take a look behind the headlines, look at the UFOs seen by pilots, tracked on radar, and come to realise, as I realised through my government work, that whatever we think this is, it's a serious and real phenomenon that perhaps has something to teach us all. Previously classified secret UK eyes only. So there's a huge process there. The French government, of course, released its UFO files in 2007. Brazilian government is releasing files. Other countries have done so too. It's a domino effect, and clearly when one country does this, it puts pressure on others who have not yet done so to take that step, particularly in countries that are open democratic societies and where there's a free press and a Freedom of Information Act. So I think this is a good thing. I'm a passionate believer in open government and freedom of information, and the more countries do this, the more it will encourage other countries to take that step.
Now, the UK, France, Brazil, and Mexico have released UFO files to the public. Do you think that's going to be a global effect where all countries are going to do so? I mean, what's the state of disclosure in your opinion?
Well, the UK government is coming to the end of a 5-year programme to declassify and release its entire archive of UFO files. This has involved over 50,000 pages of documentation so far. Some of that previously classified secret UK eyes only. So there's a huge process there. The French government, of course, released its UFO files in 2007. Brazilian government is releasing files. Other countries have done so too. It's a domino effect. I led the investigation into this, and it was a wave of sightings that took place over a period of about 6 hours in March 1993 and involved police and military witnesses and the direct overflight of 2 Air Force bases.
Those are sound like hell the top 3 cases. Now, what's your take on crop circles?
I'm quite skeptical about crop circles. I think I've clearly seen that a lot of them, even the sophisticated ones, can be made by people. But I think it's an area where there needs to be more scientific research into this in terms of looking at soil samples and the crops and seeing whether there's any chemical changes in this. Now, I know that a lot of people claim that there have been, but I think the challenge to those people is, write this up into a paper and get it into something like Science or Nature, and then I think those claims will be taken more seriously.
That was the one and only Nick Pope here at the 2013 International UFO Congress. Everyone's having a great time, and we'll send you some more footage. We are here with the one and only Travis Walton. Mr. Walton, how are you enjoying the 2013 International UFO Congress?
It's a great conference this year, and encourage everybody to check out Third Phase of the Moon.
You had a hell of an experience 35 years ago, or a little longer than that. You're one of the most well-known cases around the world. What do you have any comments to say?
Well, even all this many years later, it's still something that's just huge in my life, for better or worse, whether I like it or not.
All right, excellent. If you have one last message to all the viewers of the UFO public, what would you have to say to the viewers of Third Phase Moon?
Well, the UFO public and the non-UFO public. First, take a look at the evidence.
We are here with the one and only Stan Romanek, New York Times bestselling author.
It's actually international bestselling author.
And that's right. How are you enjoying your time at the 2013 International?
I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Get to meet new people, and it's like a family reunion actually. So people we already know, it's wonderful. It's wonderful here.
If you had one thing to say to the viewers of Third Phase of Moon, what would you say?
Listen to the show, watch the show, do what you can to get involved with the show. It's amazing.
That's right, brother. Thanks again, Stan Romanek, the one and only. We are here at the 2013 International UFO Congress with the one and only Stanton Friedman, the godfather of ufology. Anything you have to say to the Third Phase of Moon viewers?
It's time for all of us to get our act together and recognize we're not alone in the universe, we're not alone in the neighborhood. Our planet's being visited, our government is lying to us, the SETI cultists are taking a wrong path to try to supposedly find extraterrestrial life. There's an overwhelming amount of evidence that man is not alone, that there is a cosmic Watergate. And tomorrow I'll be giving a paper on a new view of the cosmos. And I'm pointing out that our views have changed. We used to think it was one solar system. It's probably a few billion in the galaxy, a few billion other planets. We used to think it was one galaxy, billions of galaxies. We used to think man wasn't very old. Bishop Ussher said 4004 BC was the beginning of everything. He left out a few zeros. We have to recognize we're not the big shots in the neighborhood. We have to also recognize how we must look to alien visitors. A primitive society whose major activity is tribal warfare. After all, we only killed 50 million people in World War II. We destroyed 1,700 cities. We're not nice guys. And if there's one reason to come here is to make sure we don't go out there from an alien viewpoint. We know about nuclear fusion. That's H-bombs to some people, but fusion can be used for propulsion systems. The stars are within reach if we wish to spend the money. And if I were an alien, I certainly wouldn't want Earthlings out there. So the day is new, and the young generation is ready to pay attention to that. And I'm happy to have led the charge over the years. Only 700 lectures or so in 50 states and 10 provinces and 18 other countries. Everybody around the world is interested in flying saucers, and most of them believe that they're real, despite the nonsense put out by the nasty, noisy negativists and the fossilized physicists and ancient academics. It's time we started acting like scientists. I'm a nuclear physicist. Instead of like cultists who say aliens will send us messages and we're going to listen until we hear those messages, and then we'll know that we're not alone. That's baloney, right out of a delicatessen. So these are exciting times. It's nice to be where it's warm. I live where it's cold. But I'm looking forward to giving a lecture and new view of the cosmos tomorrow.